And we are live. Hello everybody and welcome back. We are live from the PlayStation or Premier Sim Gaming League channel. It was going so well and then I messed it all up, unfortunately. We're back live on the Premier Sim Gaming League YouTube channel and we are live for Formula 5 action. Hello everybody, my name is Isolix and I'm here once again to commentate another round of the Formula 5 World Championship in Season 27 of the PSGL PlayStation Divisions. And I am so very excited. We're here at the floodlights of the Marina Bay Circuit in Singapore for the Singapore Grand Prix. And we're just getting ready for the start of short qualifying action. Of course, short qualifying, 18 minutes of non-stop action. Drivers allowed to set as many times as they want in order to find themselves possibly on pole position here today. We'll see how it goes here in Singapore. I will be the only commentator for you today, as it has been this season, but I'm sure I will get to all the action nonetheless. And we are just about to get into the lobby, and we can get underway. And here we are, and oh boy, it is pouring. We were just talking about in the Discord how some of the drivers were hoping for rain. Well, here it is. It is welting down there. Lots of rainfall here in Singapore. You can barely see the sky. There's so much rainfall. But nonetheless, it is a very reflective Singapore Grand Prix at the moment, and we're about to get underway with qualifying. We have a Renault that is about to come out, and that looks to be MMA Slash, actually, who is the only Renault. Oh, sorry, Alpha AZ's there as well. But yeah, look at that. Heavy, wet tires on that Renault. As he is coming out of the pit lane right now, he's got a racing point behind him that may be Jules or LRB. It is Jules who is coming out of the pit lane behind him. You can just see how beautiful the cars look under the Singapore floodlights of all of the rainfall down on them. They are truly, they're definitely very reflective, to say the least. But here we go. So wet qualifying, very wet qualifying here in Singapore. Monsoon territory right now. We'll see how the drivers fare well. Some drivers very good in the rainfall, some drivers not so much. But as you can see there, Jules is trying to warm up his tires. He has to be careful because it's very easy to spin your car around if you're not too careful, especially under surfaces like Singapore where the track is not necessarily as worn in as you'd like it to be, like in terms of over time. Grip is not always great. So Jules has to be careful when warming up his tires not to give it too much. MMA Slash gave him the ending that chicane section in the Williams on an outlap. VER Mike K is on an outlap. And we are about to get underway with qualifying action. So let's actually move over to Jules. He's going to be our first driver coming across the line to start his flying lap. And while we look at the first qualifying laps, let's go over the driver standings right now as we head into round number 8. Of course, VER Devon 3043 in the Haas, leading the championship by 64 points. 7 points down only is VER Mike K. This championship is still very much in play right now. Oh my goodness, Gillette having a big time trying to get the car back under power as he heads into turn 1 using as much of the track as possible, and we'll see how that lap goes on for him. MMA Slash, third position in the championship, about 10 points down from Mike K, so he has a little bit to do. Dirtamo, 37 points. Remember, Dirtamo, earlier in the championship, very much in the fight. Well, now he's down 10 points from MMA Slash. It's going to be a very big mountain to climb if you're him. Little Romanino has dropped all the way down to 7th, though still very much in the championship, given how much he scored in the beginning rounds of it. Unfortunate not to have him in the championship through the rest of the season in F5. Definitely would have been a very fast driver, in my opinion. But look at that. Having a really tough time getting the car stopped there in the chicane section. Coming up towards the hairpin. A very, very quick hairpin this is. You just really hit the corner right there. And then immediately putting the brakes on. He actually navigated that very well. Mike K is sliding around here in Singapore, really just trying to get the flow here, but of course, you don't want to be flowing yourself in. And Mike K is having problems trying to avoid that at the moment. It's always interesting with the rainfall. What's going to happen? Who's going to get the new advantage? We'll have to wait and see. There is Brendan Glover in the Williams. And actually, he is going to be coming around for a lap soon as well. MMA Slash as well. Actually, MMA Slash is about to finish off a lap. Jules should be coming across the line right now to get us started here. Going to come across the line in the Racing Point. Another problem with the rear, 155.6. So that is the time MMA Slash decides not to set a time. Brendan Glover will elect to finish his lap. Let's see what the time's going to be from him. And he's going to go P2 157 flat. So not the best time from him. Quicksilver will go second fastest, 156.3. Dirtamo is going to go on pole position at the moment, provisionally 155.6. Only a couple hundredths of a second faster. Ollie Flavel, third fastest, 156 flat for him. And the times are flying in. Mike K goes fifth fastest. Real crucial here. Let's see if we can get on board of Devin before he finishes his time. Lewis has gone fastest, 155.5, about a tenth clear of Dirtamo. So we're going to ride on board of Devin right here. Let's actually bring up the everything that you want to see right now. Well, not the that necessarily. Alpha AZ has gone fastest, 154.1. That's a pretty clear fastest time. And then Janik goes even faster, 154.1. And the times are really starting to fly in now. We're riding on board of Devin in the Haas. We'll see how he does. Very crucial for him to get ahead at least of Mike K right now. Mike K sitting in 8th. Can he do it? Coming around the final turn. Oh, big spin. Big problems. And that is only going to reduce him down to 8th best. He beats Mike K, but he almost had an accident into the wall that might have been him out of qualifying altogether. So mistakes out of the final corner for Devin, and that reaches him only at P8 at the moment in qualifying, just ahead of Mike K, but those are slim margins, only hundredths of a second faster than the Mercedes driver. He's going to want to definitely improve on that time. Matt Tebow is going to come across the line, 4th fastest for the McLaren driver. So not a bad showing at all for him. Let's see if we can get on board if anybody else. Tim Wentic, who is back in full time there in the McLaren. We'll see how he fares coming through the chicane, using a lot of the curb, as you can here in Singapore. Not too difficult, actually, to still invalidate, but nonetheless coming into the final turn. Let's see what the time's going to be from Wentic. It's going to be 12th fastest in the McLaren. And we still have a few drivers without laps right now, as somebody just went up a little higher. That's Mike K, actually just went higher. And that is a 154.9. So very quick time. Devin's dropped all the way down to 12th, but now meanwhile Devin has gone faster in the first sector. So you have to make sure you know here, actually sorry, second sector he's gone faster. Most drivers are going to be putting in a lot of fuel and going for a few laps here in qualifying. So you're going to see drivers stay out. That is usually because the wet tires tend to actually get better as you use them. And oh my goodness, Devin is having real problems from that rear. You saw the rear snap there as he's coming now into the final turn here. Can he keep the car all together? Yes, he can. But he only goes a fastest, 155.5. So back up to his original position from the previous lap. But it is still 4 positions adrift from Mike K, who's put himself in a very comfortable 4th. Jules up into 3rd right now. Though this time looks to be a little bit slower than the last. Janik is on, looks to be on another lap. Yes, he is. Alpha AZT also on, looks to be another lap. Matt Tebow has gone 3rd fastest. Jules comes across the line and has not improved on his time. We'll see if he is able to improve again. It looks like this time he's really going for it. So Matt Tebow has moved up into the top 3. Alpha AZT, 2nd position, and Janik has put himself provisionally on pole and has in fact gone faster in the 1st sector. So, sorry, 2nd sector. I got to really look at where I'm going on track here. 2nd second sector fastest at the moment for Janik, but that is definitely good signs for this particular lap. Can he go faster? 153 maybe in his sights, given how faster he went in that second sector. So Janik is coming through the chicane, that little dry portion of the track, back onto the splashes here in Marina Bay, as coming through the final chicane here. And now only the penultimate / final turn to go. A really long, sweeping left-hander, and he is going to go faster, and it's a 153.7 for Janik, and that is a mega time from the Ferrari driver. Really etching himself on pole position at the moment. Very much into the clear. Alfa AZT closest at the moment. We're going to ride on board of the Renault driver here. He's sitting P2 at the moment. We'll see if he can improve that time. Looking at the Constructors' Championship, we have Renault there in second position in the Constructors by 80 points. 12 points back from the Haas drivers, though, Quicksilver and Devin, who has actually gone for fastest, ahead of Matt Tebow. So into the top 5 goes Devin. Mike K has dropped down into 7th. So back ahead of his rival in the championship, Devin ahead of Mike K now by about 2 positions. And it's going to be down just a little bit there as Matt Tebos has now gone a little bit faster. Dirtamo is seemingly about to start another lap, saving up all of his ERS. Very interesting session here. Actually, looks like he's going to be going into the pit lane this time. So back into the pits goes Dirtamo, as he may put on a new set of wet tires. Still not sure what the weather is going to be for the actual race. We can actually, let me see if I can open up the stream if we've had any comments going on weather report-wise in the stream. But the pit lane getting a little bit busy. 6 minutes and 50 seconds and counting are in this session remaining. And it is still all up for grabs here in F5. You're watching I'm going to say PlayStation Alone, aren't I? Why am I saying that? I took a coffee, I woke up, I'm very happy. You're watching Premier Sim Gaming League's YouTube channel live right now. It's live coverage of the Singapore Grand Prix from the Marina Bay Circuit. And right now it is Janik who has put himself on pole position here today, with a 6 minute 20 left to go in the session. Not a lot of time left, given that it is the wet conditions. You may only be able to go for one more real run here. Can Janik keep on to that provisional pole position with still a little bit left to go? You see there, Matt Tebos may be coming into the pit lane. We'll see if he is going for another lap. He still has a little bit of ERS to play with, and no, he is going to go into the pit lane. So the pit lane getting very busy here. Let's see if any driver is on a lap right now. Well, definitely not Quicksilver, because he's invalidated this particular lap. LRB looks to be on a lap, using some hot lap to his advantage. We'll see if he can improve here. He's only sitting 11 fastest at the moment. And that is a lot of the curve. In fact, he went really deep and just avoided the wall there of the Aramco sign. Back on the power after the hairpin, onto the straight. Normally a DRS detection zone. Not in this particular zone, given that there is a lot of rainfall on track. So, of course, that is what tends to be the case. Now, I do want to mention that the rain looking significantly less right now than before. Now, I'm not sure if that means intertime. It does mean intertime. You see Ollie Flavel there on the inter-tire, so we are going to be seeing some quicker times start to come up. Drivers like LRB left in the background here. And he's going to go into the pit lane. I don't think he has enough time, though. He's going to have to really push it to get around for another lap. And if he does, it's going to be his only lap left. In fact, he should be able to get out, but it will be his last lap possible to make it out. But this is interesting here. So inter-tire is near the end of this session, and that's going to mean there's pretty much only time for one more lap. At least a very good lap. The Inter tires are going to wear out a little bit quicker. Bertamo now begins his lap, one of the first drivers to start a lap. TFA Jesper, who we've not talked about at all in this session, is on a lap. And is on actually the wet compound tire, so he is on the wrong tire in this particular event. Jordy is actually on a lap right now, a little bit further ahead on the Inter tires. Last place at the moment, without a time, 1:57 to beat to at least get ahead of Brendan Glover. But of course, everybody really not on the right tire for those times. And you can see there Jordy was having trouble, though, out of the hairpin, though he still goes fastest in the second sector, as you would expect, given the improvement, the vast improvement of performance on the Inter tires compared to the wet tires. So Jordy here looking to snatch a little bit of position here. Of course, if drivers invalidate their times, they may find themselves not able to improve. So a few drivers might be able to gain some nice positions here if they can get lucky here and get a good time on the board, or even just get a time on the board at all. And now Jordy coming around the final turn, and we're going to see a big improvement in terms of times here. And yes, 1:51.2 is pole position. We'll see if that is a good time for pole position, or if we see a big improvement from the drivers. Janik has gone faster in the first sector, but it is not a purple first sector. Bertamo is about to finish up a lap right now. We're seeing him go through the underneath section of the bridge right there, coming back on the track. The spray significantly less than the last time we saw him there. Of course, the rain letting up quite a lot. In fact, it's if we had a little bit more time, I would actually say it might go back to dry, as it is getting really light out there now. Bertamo is going to go fastest on track, 1:49.9, and that is provisionally pole position at the moment. Going to ride on board of Janik. Janik previously having pole position here. It is still rainy. Does he have the advantage in the Scuderia Ferrari SF1000? What was the 2020 challenger in the Formula One World Championship? Much more of a challenger in this equal performance car series here in Formula 5 as he's coming through the chicane. And the times are really starting to fly. Lewis has gone second fastest. Gilles, Mike Kay has gone second fastest. Going to ride on board of Janik here, coming around the final turn. Can he go fastest again? Only second fastest, 1:50.3. Ahead of Mike Kay. Alpha AZT has gone third fastest. We got to find where Devin is, and Devin is on an invalidated lap. So this is not good for Devin. He has to get around, and he will have time to do it again. I'm sure he saved up a bit of ERS. Yes, he has. And now Devin, meanwhile, what can he do? Bertamo has gone fastest, MMA / second. It's a really good position so far for the for the Renault drivers, actually, as they're second and fourth respectively. Meanwhile, Haas 13th and 16th respectively. Quicksilver is on a lap, though, but he has a McLaren of Tim Wentic ahead of him. I don't know if that's going to give him trouble as he continues on with this lap, but he may want to find a good way to dispatch of him, or maybe Tim Wentic if he's not on a lap, to let by the Haas driver. But I have a feeling they're both on laps right now. Hopefully they don't catch up into each other, but Quicksilver, of course, going a lot faster, 3 seconds faster in that second sector, so we'll see how much he can improve. Of course, still a lot of wet weather times on the board. Only 30 seconds left to go in the session. Jesper, unfortunately, I don't think is going to be getting around for another lap, so he is, especially right there as Janik is coming through the times there. Matt Tebos has gone second fastest right there. Gilles is going to come around again for one more lap. Going to ride on board of Devin right now as he is back on a lap. Second sector now in here today. Quicksilver has gone 7th fastest. We're just going to keep on board of Devin. This is the real story right now. How high can the Haas driver get back up? Lewis and Mark C. and Jesper are done, as Mike K. has gone second fastest at the end of the session and is on the first row of the grid. Janik back on pole position, 1:49.9. Back now with Devin, though. We got to see where he finishes. Crucial in the championship right now. Can he make it into the front row of the grid? Maybe even pole position, because it's been Alpha AZT who has snatched pole position here in the Renault. Let's see what's going to happen here. Renault looking really strong right now in Singapore. Devin coming across the line. What's the time going to be? Squabbly out of the rear, and it's only 10th. Only 11th now. as that is a disappointing run for Devin, and it's only 11th fastest. Mike K up into 4th. And that is unbelievable. And pretty much all the times that we expected to go faster are on the board. Ollie Flavel, though, actually on a lap right now, so we'll see what he can do. There's still some times coming across the board. There is still a chance to improve. Including Jules right here in the Racing Point action. He could improve. He could find himself in an interesting position. He was up by about 0.2 of a second almost. He's coming through the chicane right now. Can Jules surprise us in the last few moments of this qualifying session? Coming through the final turn across the line. Jules only 11th fastest, unfortunately. Ollie Flavel comes across the line, 14th fastest. Brandon Glover coming across the line, 9th fastest for Brandon Glover. Good time from him. Tim Wentic goes 8th fastest. Quicksilver is into the pit lane, and that is it for qualifying. And it's Alpha AZT who has put himself on pole position here for the Renault drivers. What a qualifying session here in F5. So there's your grid order right there. Alpha AZT in first. Second for Janik. Dertamo in third. Crucially, Mike K in fourth position. Matt Tebos finds himself in the top 5. QVR Cortez in 6th. 7th for MMA Slash. Tim Wentic in 8th. 9th for Lewis. 10th for Brendan Glover. VER Quicksilver in 12th. Jules in 11th for Quicksilver. 12th for Jules. Devin all the way down in 13th position. He's going to have to make up a lot of work today. Spaghetti Chips in 14th. Ollie Flavel in 15th. 16th for LRB. 17th for Jordy, Mark C in 18th, 19th for Plebs, and TVA Jesper, unfortunately, not able to get another time on those inter tires, will settle for last of a 156.1, maybe a little bit unrepresentative of his pace, but unfortunately, he was not able to connect it all together for an inter run. So we are getting into the race, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully it is not a rainy race, because that means I'm going to be here a long time. It is dry. It is dry here in the race. Hopefully it stays that way, because rainy races in Singapore, let's just say they take a while, given the fact that they are about 2-minute laps. The only comment we have on stream is 5 pounds on Spag spinner damage lap 1. Well, I'm not going to make that bet. I don't have 5 pounds. Mostly because I'm American, but I don't think I have the money in US dollars right now either to make the conversion. Because it's actually more. Pounds a lot more money than the dollar right now. Nonetheless, you guys do not care about the conversion rates of the US dollar to the British pound. You care about racing, and it's 10 seconds until sessions start. Well, I'll go over the formation lap and the grid order, and let's get set for this race here in Singapore. As all the drivers ready right there, the singular red light comes on. And here we go. 31 laps ahead of us here in Singapore. Here's your formation lap and your grid order for the Singapore Grand Prix. And Alpha AZT has put himself on pole position here today, starting on the hard compound tire. Very interesting strategy call there. Let's ride on board of everybody as Janik decides to go into the medium tire at the start of this race in second position. Dertamo in third position on the medium compound tire. Mike K, crucial for him. Hard compound tire for Mike K in fourth position. We'll see if that works out for him. Matt Tebos in fifth position in the McLaren on the medium tire. Cortez in sixth on the hard tire. MMA Slash on the hard tire in seventh. Tim Wentic in eighth. He starts on the soft compound tire, the first of the Red Wool tire that we have seen so far. Lewis on the mediums in ninth, and rounding up the top 10 is Brandon Glover. He will start on the hard tire. Going into the bottom 10, it is Quicksilver on the hards in 11th, Gilles on the mediums in 12th, and Devin on the hards in 13th, the championship leader. In a bit of a pickle here, a lot of work to do in this Singapore Grand Prix if he wants to find himself in fighting conditions here. Hoping that maybe Mike K has a mistake on lap 1. Spaghetti Chips, a little bit further back from the pack on the hard tire in 14th. Ollie Flavel in 15th position on the medium tire. LRB hard tire in 16th position. FRL Jordy starting on the hard compound tire in 17th. Mark CP99 in 18th position on the hard compound tire. Plevs in 19th on the hards. And TFA Jesper on the medium compound tire will round off the grid as Alpha AZT is coming around the final turn and is about to line up on his grid position here. Almost 1,000 horsepower lining up on pole position for Alpha AZT. Janik alongside Dertamo in third, and there is Mike K going down the order. There is Devin lining up on his spot as we get ready for the 5 red lights. And the final car is approaching the grid there, and that is the Ferrari of Jesper. Janik, his teammate, much higher up on the front row of the grid. Can he jump AZ into turn 1? We're going to have to wait and see. We're just getting ready, though. And here we go. 31, and it's 2, 3, 4, 5. Singapore is underway. The lights are out, and away we go. And here we go. Coming into turn 1. Who's going to have the advantage? Janik on the inside, taking the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix. Ahead of Alpha AZT, Dertamo is into third position. Mike K is moving down positions, now in fifth position, being overtaken by Matt Tebos. Now under pressure from Tim Wentic, who looks to make a challenge possibly on the inside. But Janik, with a great getaway, is already up 7/10 of a second, and now Alpha AZT under pressure from Dertamo, who's going to try to challenge around the outside. He's banging wheels with the Red Bull, but ultimately Dertamo up into second position. Alpha AZT dropping positions quick in this session. Spaghetti Chips has had a problem, it looks like, as he's all the way down to the bottom of the track. Jordy is out of this race, and it's a virtual safety car. Very quick death there for Jordy, unfortunately. And there is one type of strategy, either soft, medium, medium, or medium hards if you started on the medium tire. But we're under virtual safety car here. Jordy, I did not see the retirement, and is there a pass on the safety car? I'm not too sure why. It says Matt Tebos has gone ahead of Alpha AZT, but nonetheless, we are under virtual safety car. Not a full safety car, surprisingly. Again, there's your predicted pit stop strategy. Soft, medium, medium, or medium hards. Though only one driver, I believe, elected to go into the soft tire. Yes, it is Tim Wentic who decided to go into the soft, so we'll see how that works out for him. Most drivers on the hard tire, with a few more on the medium tires. So the hard tire, the popular choice here in this race. If we look up lost positions, 5 positions down for Cortez, 5 positions down for Spaghetti Chips. Biggest gainers are TFA Jesper, Mark C, and now, oh no, another loss right there, Alpha AZT. No, sorry, we're not going to look at that because it is a problem with the leaderboard. It's just updating a little bit for us. So that is not what it is right now. Janik is still very much in the lead in 14th position. Dertamo is being shown in the lead, but he is in 2nd position. So we'll wait for the leaderboard to update again and give us the proper standings here. And here we go. This is giving us that update. Lewis has already picked up a penalty in this race. If we can look at the detail there, how much is that penalty? Is it that it is a 5-second penalty? So not too sure if that was a speeding in the pit lane or not. But now we have the updated grid order here, as there's another yellow flag. I think somebody, Brandon Glover has had a problem. And is he without a front wing? He is actually still okay, so a bit of a spin, but now down 9 positions. Tim Wentic, one of the biggest gainers here, in up 4 positions into 4th. Matt Tebos up 2 positions, Dertamo up 1, so is Janik up 1. Terrible start for Alpha AZT if you really think about it, down 5 positions. And now Lewis is ahead of Mike K. I can't see the pass because I'm getting the worst possible camera angles, but there is Lewis ahead of the Mercedes driver, now down in 7th position. It's not been the start that the vice champion at the moment was looking for here, as now MMA Slash is putting on the pressure in the Renault. Quicksilver down in 9th position, trying to make up some positions. We have some penalties starting to come in. And now Devin is looking to try to get past at least somebody. And side by side, Cortez and Julez. Is Julez up in the 10th position after that side by side pass? Let's ride on board with Matt Tebos. who is trying to chase down Dertamo, who is outside of DRS range from Janik, so he is not going to have the help of that rear flap device, the DRS, which increases the top-end speed by about 11 miles per hour on average. Lewis side by side on the inside, an old contact of Alpha AZT, and that was not the cleanest of moves on the inside. A little difficult to go side by side through there, and unfortunately a little bit of contact. Fortunately no damage for Alpha AZT as he can continue on in this race. Mike K, though, is getting eaten alive in a Renault sandwich right now. I think hoping to make a pass on Alpha AZT, but right now, under a lot of pressure for MMA Slash, who's right on the back of that Mercedes driver. DRS has been activated, so everybody is in a bit of a DRS train right now in these particular straights. It's going to have to be a mistake from somebody to get ahead. Quicksilver looking on in the battle with MMA Slash. Let's ride back with Matt Tebos, who is trying to size up Dertamo for a possible pass. And oh my goodness. And Matt Tebos almost had a death into the wall right there, but he still has the DRS on Dertamo, chasing down the Red Bull driver, coming in the turn one, and actually not able to gain a whole lot of time right there on that particular lap. We're on lap 4 of 31. Much quicker time in this particular situation here. Gilles has made a pass, or was making a pass on Quicksilver there. He was on the inside. It looked like he made the pass okay, and somebody's had a problem. Or maybe no, Tim Lintig's just a little bit too far back, 3.2 seconds. Matt Tebos is not able to make up a particular amount of time on Dertamo, so are you starting to see the difficulties here in Singapore? Rather difficult to make a pass despite the straights. LRB has been passed by TFA Jesper, who is up now 5 positions. Let's get back on some actual details that you guys want to see. Let's bring up tires. Everybody on 3-lap old tires, pretty much. Nobody actually pitting on the first lap, which is interesting. So no damage picked up is what that means, except for Jordy, of course, who was out of this race. Of course, he was subbing in for the AlphaTauri team. But a very quick lap 1 exit for him. Not too sure what happened. We may have to see later on. Now Cortez is battling with the Haas driver of Devon, who is trying to make up positions, it looks like. Sorry, no, that's Quicksilver. So the Haas driver is very close together right now. Now Quicksilver trying to find his way past Gilles, and he has problems through the chicane right there at the slope a little bit. That may allow Cortez to get ahead of Quicksilver, and I'm having troubles all around trying to identify everybody. It's very busy right now on track. But we are definitely on board right now with Devon, who is trying to find a way past Cortez, who has lost a bit of momentum to Quicksilver. And now Cortez going very wide out of the final turn. That's going to allow Devon to go on the inside coming into turn 1 and should make the move. Yes, on the inside and ahead of Cortez. And now it is against Quicksilver. It is only the beginning of the race. There is a significant gap in the championship between them. Will Quicksilver be a little nice and let by his teammate, or are we going to be seeing a race here? Well, right now we're seeing a race between the Alfa Romeo and the Williams, as you've seen Oli Flavel get ahead of Cortez. And Cortez, oh my goodness, Cortez is really losing braking here, and now he's back behind. Oh, is he having problems? Oh no, he has damage. That's why, because he's picked up front wing damage as he must have gone so wide that he actually hit the wall right there. So Cortez now down with his teammate Spaghetti Chips in 17th. And rather unfortunate, he's going to go even lower because he's going to have to make a pit stop. Matt Tebos has still not been able to find a way past Dertamo. 0.8 of a second now. He's keeping within DRS range, but he's just not able to make up a certain amount of time in any part of the track. Dertamo pretty much matching pace with him. Jesper has picked up 3 seconds of time penalties. Lewis in 5th position is trying to get past Tim Lintic in a much more favorable position, about 0.2 back. Matt Tebos going down as low as 0.6 of a second. Here comes Lewis. Can he make a pass on the inside? He will wait for the moment time being. but he's right on the rear diffuser of that McLaren. In fact, he can almost stench it. Yes, now he's making a challenge on the inside, even before the DRS zone here. They're side by side still. Brendan Glover, oh, there's a spin. Tim Wentic has been spun. I don't know if there was contact or maybe he gave it too much, but Tim Wentic has spun around. You remember, Tim Wentic decided to go onto the soft tires at the start of this race. No damage on the McLaren, but are those soft tires starting to see the end of their useful lifespan? He's in a bit of no man's land. Everybody around him will pit further ahead of him. And I think he was expecting more drivers to start on the softs, but fortunately for him, nobody electing to go onto the soft tire. And I don't think this strategy has worked out all well for him. We'll see how it works out, but I don't think it's going to be too good, especially since he just had that spin. Those soft tires are going to be under a lot more wear than they were before. Riding on board of Ollie Flavel, Devin has caught up to his teammate Quicksilver, who has not been able to keep up with Gilles. And now Quicksilver going very deep, and that's allowed Devin to catch up even more so to his teammate. Do we see a battle between the two Haas drivers, or is Quicksilver going to be a little nice given the championship lead that his teammate has? Gilles is trying to find a way past Slash, and I don't think he's going to be doing it on this particular lap. But very single file right now. Quicksilver does not have DRS on that particular straight, though he may have it on the next one. Brandon Glover, 3-second time penalty. Quicksilver so very close to his teammate right now. I think Quicksilver has DRS, just has DRS. No, he does not. So no DRS. Quicksilver is losing time and time and time to Devin. And there is another driver out. I think Tim Wentic has in fact just retired. Yep, he's just retired out of the race. So he may have seen what I saw. Maybe that race just wasn't going to be enough. Even with a safety car, unfortunately, that soft tire strategy just was not the right one. Nobody went for that strategy. Plebs is all alone with spaghetti chips. May be able to find himself past the Alfa Romeo driver if he can keep up with him. About 5/10 separating them, 6/10 now. And oh, there's a crash! Brendan Glover out of the race! That's a virtual safety car! And he's hit the wall. We just caught on board with the Williams driver. And there are cars flying all over here in Singapore. And Brendan Glover is out of it. Virtual safety car has been deployed on track. That's the second safety car in this session. And now into the pits is Janik. So now he's going to take this opportunity to make his pit stop. He's on that medium compound tire dirt. Tom into the pits. Matt Tebos follows. Lewis does as well. Will Alpha AZT stay out? Yes, he will. So who comes out of the pit lane first? I don't think anybody does. I think that Alpha AZT will get the lead on the hard tire. Given now, of course, all those drivers on new hard tires, can they go till the end of the race? It's a possibility. A few of those drivers, I'm sorry, I think all those drivers were on medium tires, so that has completed their pit stop strategy. Everybody else now, so actually the entire grid is on hard tires right now. I don't think I've ever seen an entire grid on the same tire. But Alpha AZT is in the lead of this race. Devin up into 5th now, of course. Devin in 2nd. So Mike K still outscoring Devin right now, trying to close up that championship advantage. MMA Slash putting the pressure, though, on the Mercedes driver. The Mercedes driver trying to put the pressure on Alpha AZT, who has found himself back in the lead of this race after losing it on the first lap after a pretty poor start. Quicksilver in 4th. No DRS. Devin does have DRS. He's continuing to put the pressure on his teammate. Will his teammate let him by, or are we going to be seeing a fight between the two drivers in the American outfit? LRB 2nd position. Spaghetti Chip 7th. And 8th for Plebs. Janik is the first of all the drivers who pitted. So he's still technically in net P1. Let's ride on board. Let's ride on board of Devin right now. He's closest to his teammate Quicksilver right there, who it is not. Actually, no, Quicksilver does have DRS. That's interesting. Looks like he was outside of a second. That has allowed him to gain a little bit more time on his teammate now, and he's gaining even more time because MMA Slash is being held up a little bit, not able to get ahead of Mike K. But now Quicksilver, oh, he hits the wall right there. That might be That might be it. Devin now looking to challenge on the inside of his teammate, and it's an easy pass. Quicksilver tried his best, but unfortunately hit the wall right there. No damage, I believe, for the Haas driver, but he lost a lot of momentum, and Quicksilver is courteous of his teammate, gives him a little bit of a battle, but ultimately Devin up into fourth. And now it is only Slash he has to deal with. MMA Slash, ooh, a little bit of a mistake there, goes a little bit too deep in the corner. Oh, and he hits the wall right there. And now that's going to allow Devin to really catch up. Now he's in DRS range. Does he get DRS on this particular lap? No. But he will have it on the next lap as long as he can keep it within that second. And Lewis has picked up a penalty of 3 seconds. So this is the battle for the lead of the race right now at the moment. Though all these drivers still have to make pit stops. Alpha AZT, Mike K, and MMA Slash. 1, 2, 3. That's your top 3 right now. Devin and Quicksilver in 4th. So right now, a really big constructors battle right now, too, is both of the Renaults ahead of the Haas drivers. LRB picking up a 3-second time penalty. And Mike K following in the turn 1, had the DRS. Still not able to make a pass for the lead. This is crucial because if Devin can get ahead of Slash before Mike K can get ahead of AZ, then it is a battle between those two. The last thing Mike K is looking for, Quicksilver has picked up a 5-second time penalty. Sorry, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Devin, even with DRS, not able to make a pass for MMA Slash, still very much in DRS range, but he is losing it a little bit. He has started to lose time, probably only helped by the fact that Mike K has not been able to make a pass yet on Alpha AZT, saving up a good amount of ERS, over 50%. He will have DRS, but Alpha AZT, look at that, he's on full battery, so he has pretty much everything to play with right now to his arsenal. Back onto the DRS straight. Not particularly a passing DRS straight, more so to keep up with your opponent. Excuse me, sorry. A few lockups from Mike K and ACT. MMA Slash. Now 1.3 seconds the gap. So now does Devin find himself ahead of the Renault driver, given that MMA Slash has now lost a considerable amount of time to the top 2. And has lost that DRS advantage. And now looks at MMA Slash in the pit lane. So first of the hard tire starters into the pit lane. So an interesting decision there. That means Devin now is within 1.7 seconds of Mike K. And there's a spin, and it's Quicksilver. Look to have had a spin right there. Spaghetti Chips up into 5th after being down almost in last. MMA Slash is coming out all the way down in last. Now he's on that medium compound tire. We'll see how that works out for him. I don't know if that's going to last until the end of this race. It's going to be a bit of a stretch. The degradation is quite high here at Singapore. But he is down in last, 4.7 seconds back from Jesper. We'll keep updated on his pace, and we'll see how he does later on into the race. But nonetheless, Mike K is still trying to find a way past Alpha AZT. You're watching live coverage of the Formula 5 World Championship. We're here at the Marina Bay Circuit. Plebs has had a problem now as he's been spun around, and now he's hit contact with the wall there as he caught some damage on the front wing, and oh my goodness. And if Lewis had not ghosted through there, that would have been a big accident. And there is a significant amount of wing damage for Pleb, so that is going to be a pit stop for him. No safety car has been deployed in this race, at least a full one. 2 virtual safety cars have been deployed. And let's actually bring up the telemetry so you can see exactly what everybody's playing with right now. 70% for Mike K, 90 of almost 100% for Alpha AZT. Devin, meanwhile, only 29%, so he does not have nearly as much to work with, but he is catching up. 1.4, now 1.3 seconds to Mike K, so he is slowly closing the gap on the Mercedes driver. LRB behind, 50% about. Does not have DRS on this particular lap, 1.5 seconds back. Janik is about to make a pass. And almost contact between the two, but Janik does make the move on the inside, and now looking for a bit of a switchback, but now he's made a mistake here, and now Quicksilver almost squeezing Dertamo into the wall there, but gave him just enough room, but the switchback. And Dertamo on the inside gets ahead of Quicksilver. Quicksilver's having a lot of problems on that hard tire, not able to get into proper operating window here. And now Matt Tebos might put the pressure on Quicksilver. So Quicksilver was very close racing right there. Pretty fair, though, still. Not really into the wall, but gave him a bit of a squeeze. But unfortunately, a mistake from the rear has cost him now down in 8th position. Matt Tebos trying to put the pressure on him now as well. 1.2 seconds the gap. Devin slowly making up time on Mike K, who continues to find the struggles of getting ahead of the first place man there. And he's saved up a little bit more ERS, but Alpha AZT just has all of it. He hasn't really had to use any of it. The gap just has not closed down enough. The gap 1.3 seconds. LRB actually now gaining more time on Devin. Can he find himself in DRS range before Devin does on Mike K? MMA slash 3-second time penalty. We're seeing a few drivers who are being the predicted ones to get penalties here. Quicksilver, LRB, Lewis, Gilles, Jesper, and Slash all have 3-second time penalties, and they're really the only ones picking up most of them. Meanwhile, though, Plebs adds his name to that list. 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. 32 seconds back from Jesper after that big crash. He is on the medium compound tire. We'll see how that works out for him. Lap 13 of 31. We're reaching near the halfway point in this race as Matt Tebos is ahead of Quicksilver. There looked like there was a pass about 5/10 back from the Haas driver, but he doesn't have any DRS. 1.1 seconds back from Dertamo. Quicksilver does have DRS, but he has virtually no ERS to play with, so he's going to want to save up a little bit of battery. Just keep up with the McLaren driver at the very least. Maybe he can find himself attacking later on in the race. And it's a very methodical race here. Nobody making any super duper passes, especially in the lead of the race. Who can find themselves winning this one? Is it going to be one of these hard tire runners? Or will it be somebody like Janik, who is still technically, provisionally in the lead of this race, is now trying to find his way past Spaghetti Chips? So those drivers definitely have to pit, and I definitely expect Janik to keep the lead of this race. Of course, they will go very long into the race, and I'm assuming that they're either going to stop soon and go onto the mediums, go till the end, or stop even later and try to go into the softs till the end. Very interesting call that would be. Janik has gone ahead of Spaghetti Chips, though, up into 5th now. 4.8 seconds back from LRB, so he does have a little bit of time to make up still, but he is on much newer tires, and he has the definite grip advantage, and so far, Janik has kept up a very good pace here in Singapore. And I'm sure he'll be able to close that 4.6 gap now to LRB. Meanwhile, the only person with DRS is Mike K. There is another yellow flag, and that is Plebs retiring out of this race. So we are now down to only 14 drivers, as a lot of penalties and DNFs galore here have left us with a much smaller grid than how we started. Ollie Flavel, one of the only drivers down there without penalties, down in the bottom 5. Right now, actually, bottom 4. No, bottom 5, right? Including 10th. Ollie Flavel, though, might be able to pick up some positions if he can keep clean here without penalties. Still trying to find a way past. Mike Hay just has had no luck getting past Alpha AZT. He's got a lot of DRS, but so does Alpha. Does he use any of it on this lap? He gets very, very close, but ultimately not close enough. Maybe hoping that Alpha AZ makes a mistake, but right now there's been no sign of that happening. And into the pit lane goes Quicksilver. On to new medium tires. So one of the first drivers to make a pit stop in that top flight of drivers. Unfortunately for him, he was passed a little bit longer ago in the pack of the hard tires, so maybe he waited a little too long. Maybe he's expecting these hard tire runners to not go till the end. I think that is not the case. I think that everybody like Janik are going to be going till the end. Spaghetti Chips does have to make a pit stop still. He is on 14-lap-old hard tires, so he is definitely of the pack that still has to make their pit stops, and we'll see what tire he elects to go on. Is he waiting to get into soft tire range? Is that what everybody here is waiting for? Are they waiting for the ability to go into the soft tires till the end, or will they be making pit stops soon? Are they going to react to anybody making their pit stops yet? No, they will not. Jesper has picked up 3 seconds of penalties. You can see Janik in the background there, 3.6 seconds now, chasing down the Racing Point. Everybody's now in DRS range, though. Alpha AZT, 7 tenths ahead. Mike K, 7 tenths, about 6 tenths ahead now of Devin. And LRB 9 tenths back. Alpha AZT stays ahead. Mike K stays in second. Devin stays in third and fourth. Of course, there'll be a bit of a DRS train in the top 4. Right now, though, Janik is just waiting in the looms. Does he catch up to them, or does a pit stop give him the lead? One of the two is going to happen here. Nonetheless, though, Janik should keep the lead of this race provisionally, as long as he doesn't make any mistakes on his own right. This is still a street track. Danger is all around. Any mistake can leave you in the wall and out of this race. But Janik, meanwhile, is doing a good job so far. And he finds himself in 5th and soon in 1st. Lap 16:31. 15-lap-old tires for Alpha AZT, Mike K, Devin, and LRB, as well as Spaghetti Chips. Everybody else has pitted again and have either elected to go onto the hards or are on the medium tires. And now Devin, look at this, Mike K into the pit. So now Mike K starts the effect of pit stops. He goes onto the medium tires. So now will the top 3 react? Spaghetti Chips did not react to that pit stop. Will gain a position on Mike K. This is very crucial. Do these top 3 drivers react to that pit stop? Is it time now? Or are they still holding out? Mike K comes out in 11th position. Devin, I think, for his sake, will probably have to react, given that it is the championship on the line. He definitely wants to just at least get ahead of Mike K. Does Alpha AZT, or do all 3 of them react? You have to wait and see here. Janik is now 2.7 seconds back, so the gap is really starting to go down here as there is another yellow flag, and that is MMA Slash, who is he out of this race? I'm not too sure. No, it's like he may have just had a spin. He's down in 11th now, though. Mike K ahead of him. Riding back on board of the top 3. Alpha in the lead. waiting to see if they react. Will we see a pit stop? LRB, the only of the top three with a 3-second time penalty to his name, maybe even more if we bring up the details here. Yep, only about 3 seconds. In fact, at maximum 8 seconds is Lewis, who's down in 14th position. And yep, here we go. The top three go into the pit lane. So all three of them into the pit lane. Janik is going to come around and take back the lead of this Grand Prix. The big question is, though, do drivers like Mike K get ahead of Devin, or has he found himself behind his championship rival? He is behind Flavel right now. Is this going to hold him up a little bit? We're riding on board of Devin, who just comes out of the pit lane now on that medium tire. Here comes Mike K. He is trying to make a pass on Flavel. He's going to go on the inside. Where is Devin? Devin is at the end there of the pit lane, and I don't think he's going to get ahead of Mike K. No, he will not. Mike K is ahead of Devin by about 4 positions. That's really crucial. Devin only in 9th position, just into the points. And Mike K, crucially, into the top 5 still after the pit stops. That is big, and he is on the medium tire, so Mike K is best of the rest right now out of everybody who made their pit stops, and he may be able to fight for the lead of this race if he can catch up. Now, of course, it is a bit of a task. He can probably dispatch of Jules, but after Jules, it's 14.2 seconds to make up to get back into the battle for the top 3 positions. And oh my goodness, a huge dive bomb from Mike K. He is wasting absolutely no time. Jules did make a bit of a mistake, but that is a daring move from Mike K. One of the few dive bombs we've seen in the last few years here in league racing. You don't tend to see those dive bombs nearly as much on the higher level. Most drivers are a little bit more patient. That is not Mike K. And now he is ahead and is able to eat away at that 3.8 second gap now, as it is starting to go down, as you would expect. On that much newer tire, Quicksilver is trying to put the pressure on Jesper and find himself in 11th and now chasing down LRB for 10th, the last point scoring position in this race. MMA Slash and Alpha AZT 7th and 8th. Devin down in 9th. He has to get ahead of the Haas drivers, ahead of the Renault drivers, constructors-wise. But more crucially, he has to gain some positions to mitigate what is going to be a big point-scoring haul for the Mercedes driver. And oh my goodness, look how close he is now to the back of MMA Slash. But it looks like he's going to go on the inside into the turn right here and make the move. Does MMA Slash battle back? No, he does not. Alpha AZT, though, has gone ahead of Flavel. Mike K, 11.9 seconds that gap now. So as we're going into the closing stages of this race, almost a decade worth of laps to go, Mike K is really eating away at that advantage. 11.4 seconds the gap now. Meanwhile, the lead of the race may be pretty much sealed, as it's 2.1 seconds between Janik and Dertamo. Now, of course, we have to remember these drivers are going to start to lose pace near the end of their stints. They are going to go till the end on the hard compound tire, but it's going to be a very difficult time near the end of the stint. Can Mike K, with penalties, find himself winning this Singapore Grand Prix? What a story that would be, what crucially that would mean for the championship. But Devin is making up positions now into 7th position now. And now he is in a big fight with Alpha AZT. Can Devin get past Alpha? Can he chase down Mike K? So this may be the real battle that we need to focus on. Quicksilver is trying to get ahead of LRBs in a bit of a Racing Point sandwich, though, right now. Or sorry, that's all we Flavel in the Racing Point sandwich. And yeah, oh my goodness, this is going to get very tricky here. LRB is trying to make a pass on the outside. Here is Jules. Jules has lost the position to Jules. And now look at this, Jules on the inside. And this is very risky here. Oh my goodness. Look at this four-way battle here in Singapore. And Quicksilver has gone ahead of LRB. A nice tactical move from the Haas driver. Now is he going to get ahead of Gilles? It looks like he can get ahead of Gilles, and now both the Racing Points are battling here. LRB is trying to make a pass on his teammate. Gilles is trying to find a way past, and Gilles has made a way past on the inside, and oh my goodness, almost hit his teammate. And that was a very interesting battle, a very weird spot to have a battle. And oh my goodness, big dive bomb. Does it work out? No, it doesn't. And now he's losing a lot of time. Gilles now is able to get back up towards Quicksilver and possibly find some redemption. Gilles, though, is on 11 lap old hards, much like Flavel. So he is going to have a struggle keeping ahead of his teammate and will, in fact, have to make a pit stop, possibly soon, given how much he's struggling. We'll have to wait and see, but nonetheless, the gap now is 6.9. So the gap is going down and down and down. LRB has gone ahead of Gilles up into 9th position. Gilles is losing time by the minute here. And now Spaghetti Chips may lay waste to Gilles next. He got a really good run. The superior grip showing. Not a lot to overtake the play with. He only has the DRS, and I think Spaghetti Chips is going to have to make a bit of a dive here on the inside in order to make this move stick. He does make the dive, pushes Gilles off track. Gilles gets back on track, goes back on the inside. Now the switchback for the Alfa Romeo driver. Who has the better traction? Spaghetti Chips has the better traction, and he gets ahead of Gilles, and he puts himself in 10th position here in this Singapore Grand Prix. Into the points now is Spaghetti Chips. Only 13 drivers, as Lewis has retired out of this race after, unfortunately, not the race he was looking for. Here comes LRB. Is he going to make a pass on Flavel? Oh my goodness, so close. Oh my goodness. That outside move is not a particularly in position where to make that overtake, but LRB made it work on Flavel, and he's up into 8th position now, trying to chase down Quicksilver. Devin in 6th position, 7 attempts back from Alpha AZT, not able to make a pass though. Quicksilver picks up another 3-second time penalty. Alpha AZT is penalty-less. Mike K now, oh my, ooh, is there problems? Oh, somebody's had a spin, it's Quicksilver. Oh, and he's making up so much progress, and now major front wing damage on that Haas car. And oh no, that was not what he was looking to have happen in this race, as he has a lot of problems in terms of handling that car. Gilles is making a front wing change and a pit stop, so he has picked up damage and is well down now in 13th place. He may be able to make up that time on maybe some of the hard tire runners, but on the medium tire runners, I would have to think not. Meanwhile, the gap now is only 4 seconds. Mike K is looming in the shadows of this battle with the top 3. Can he find himself in the battle for the top 3 near the end of this race? Those medium tires are working a charm, and Mike K is working a charm as well. Really throwing this Mercedes around Marina Bay and putting it in all the right places and gaining all the right amount of time. Now 3.5 seconds the gap. The real crucial part here is Matt Tebow, Sturtamo do not have DRS. They have not been able to keep up with Janik. Can Janik still win this race? Given the fact that Mike K does have that 3-second time penalty, not only is he gaining time, but he has to gain even more time. And the big question is while these medium tires do have the competitive advantage on those hard tires, for how long? Because, of course, the medium tires will not last as long as the hard tires. And braking as late as he can, and all the time being made, and Quicksilver is out of the race as he has retired in the pit lane. And that is it, and we are down almost the entire half of the grid here. And yep, I think we're going to see a retirement here from Gilles as well into the pit lane. And he speeds in the pit lane, and I think that may be it. Has he picked up, maybe he's picked up wing damage, I'm not too sure. Yep, he has. He's picked up wing damage. And I'm surprised, actually. He's going to go for fastest lap here. He's going to have a wing change here, but he is pretty much out of the fight here. Down 29 seconds, and will be down even more. MMA Slash in 11th on those medium tires, 9.6 seconds the gap. So almost the entire half of the grid here in F5 is out of this race. And it has not been the best of races for many of the drivers here. Quicksilver is out of it. That's big trouble for the Haas outfit. They're going to lose a lot of points in the constructors after that unfortunate showing for him. Devin is still trying to find a way past Alpha AZT, but he can't make it work. Mike K, meanwhile, is now within battling range of the top three. First, it's Matt Tebos. Can he dispose of the McLaren driver here? He's got DRS. He's not using any ERS. I don't really think he has to, though. The grip advantage is just so high. Can't even make a pass possibly in the second sector, given up how much time he's gained. Now, of course, dirty air is going to be a bit of a problem here. And we'll see how Mike K handles it, but he is looking for avenues to get past Matt Tebos even before DRS, but I think it will be the DRS straight that gives him that position. And he looks on the outside. Now DRS back on the power. Is he going to use overtake? He is going to use some overtake, and he is not able to make it past Matt Tebos at the moment, though. This is very crucial for Mike K. He has to get past drivers like Matt Tebos. The longer he's behind the McLaren driver, the more Matt Tebos is able to give advantage to Dirtamo and Janik. 2.7 seconds. Dirtamo is back from Janik. Janik would have to pick up a penalty to make this an interesting battle here for the lead of this race. Is that gap 2.7? That's been pretty consistent for the past couple of laps, so I think they're pretty much matching on pace, those two. Mike K has the DRS. He isn't able to get past Matt Tebos. This is not good. Mike K has to get past the McLaren driver. He's got the grip advantage. Does he make it on this DRS straight? We'll have to wait and see. Does he get a good run? About as good as he can. I think it's just going to have to, he's going to have to use up a lot of that battery here. He knows he has to get past the McLaren driver and does so. Up into third position now, ahead of Matt Tebos. Can Matt Tebos make a counteroffensive, though? No. It looked like a bit of a mistake for Mike K, but unfortunately, Mike K, for his sake, is able to recover well. So now you'll see that gap really start to form here. Matt Tebos is not going to be able to battle up with Mike K. But now it's 5.8 seconds, so another bit of gap to make up in this race. We're on lap 25 of 31. I don't know if Mike K has enough to keep this podium position even possibly, because remember, he has 3 seconds, I believe. Let's bring up the detail there. Yep, 3 seconds. 3 stops for Jules. Can we bring up a detail for fastest lap? I'd like to see that. And what's going on here? Jules went really slow right there on track. I'm not too sure what's going on here. Janik is in his sights now. We may see a pass under blue flags, possibly. But nonetheless, we're having a little bit of a weird change there. Jesper is up 10 positions. He's in 10th position only. But after all of the DNFs, that is where he finds himself. 1.7 seconds that gap now, so I think Mike K should be able to make the advantage up and keep third position at bare minimum. But I think those medium tires are starting to see the end of their lifespan. I don't think he's going to find himself battling for second. Mike K will just have to settle for the podium. Devin, meanwhile, it's just not been enough. He can't get ahead of Alpha AZT. AZT has raced a really good race here at Singapore and has really just been able to keep ahead. And now AZT is still trying to get past Matt Tebos, who seems to be struggling on those medium tires. Matt Tebos on the hard tires, actually. So Alpha AZT is about to make it up into fourth position. That is why he's struggling, because he's on the tires that are going till the end on the hards, and those hards, as like I said, are going to struggle a lot near the end. 2.6 seconds, that gap between Mike K and Matt Tebos, and it's going to get even wider once AZT decides to battle up with the McLaren driver. Only a few more laps in this Singapore Grand Prix to go. And Devin, oh my goodness, can he maybe double up a little bit? He's probably looking to see if AZT makes a mistake in this battle with the McLaren driver, who I'm sure he wants to pass rather soon. And it is 2.9 seconds the gap now, so it looks like, yes, Mike K is going to get up that 3-second advantage as long as he doesn't pick up another penalty. At least third place for Mike K. Unless there's problems at the front. 4.4 seconds. He's definitely not going to be able to make up the time. Alpha AZT ahead of Matt Tebos. And now Devin looking to get ahead of Matt Tebos as well. But now Alpha AZT, this is crucial for him because he is able to gain a bit of an advantage on Devin. But Matt Tebos does not allow that to happen too much, because he lets by the Haas driver, knowing that is not his battle to race, and he also knows where Devin is in the championship at the moment first. And he should keep first. I still think he's going to outscore just enough to keep up in first position, but the gap will go down after this podium finish from Mike K. Oh, actually, no, 2.8 seconds, so he's lost some time. Oh no, that's because of the medium runner. So this is big time here, because now Alpha AZT is into that 3-second gap. So Mike K currently not on the podium given the penalty situation here in this race. It is a race of attrition here in Singapore. Now back up to 3 seconds. It's going to be, I think, very close. The whole race. I think it's going to be trading blows here. Tenths of a second between them for most of this race. 3.2 seconds the gap now. Devin would really love to get ahead of AZT if he can. I don't think it's going to happen, though. They're on both the same tire, both on pretty much the same life of those tires. And even with all the DRS, he has virtually no ERS to play with. AZT has at least a little bit, about 23%, so he's definitely used up quite a lot to make passes on the McLaren drivers. Mike K, meanwhile, 2.9 seconds the gap. So like I said, I think this is going to be going up and down throughout the end of this race. The question is it going to be down or up when it comes to the end of it? Jesper has been passed by MMA Slash, who is up into 10th, the final point scoring position. Jesper is technically second to last. Given all the DNFs, he has still made up a lot of positions, but it is, he still would love to make a point here, but it's not going to happen. 19 lap old hards against 7 lap old mediums. It just isn't a contest. And Jules hits the wall there out of the exit, and this has just not been a race to remember for Jules, and I don't even think he has fastest lap. I haven't really been paying attention too much. And this is not good. 2.6 seconds is the gap. So, a bit of a dilemma here. Mike K is losing time to AZT and Devin. If enough time is lost, it would be crazy to think, but there is a possibility if he gets within 2 seconds now, and Devin stays where he is, Devin, on penalties, could pass Mike K. We have 3 more laps to go in this Singapore Grand Prix, but it is still very much on the table that if he does not keep up a gap, he is definitely going to lose the position AZT, who should pick up a podium here. But Devin is maybe the biggest benefactor here if that gap goes down to 2 seconds. It has to go down to 2. Oh, actually, maybe not even now, too. Oh, no. 2.3 seconds. Now the gap only 0.4 of a second. Now, right now, as it stands, Mike K loses 2 positions on penalties. This is not good for Mike K. Mike K, who was hoping so much to find an advantage here in the championship. Now the gap starting to go down. Devin keeping close to AZT. 2.2 seconds the gap. It is within 3 seconds for both drivers respectively. Mike K, penultimate lap here for him. As we're on lap 30 of 31, Janik is having an absolute stellar race here, as he should easily win this race unless he picks up a penalty near the end here. But this is not good. Devin is really sizing up AZT though right now. Does he make a pass on this DRS straight? He just doesn't have the ERS to play with though, but he is gaining and gaining on AZT. Is this finally the lap to make a pass? He gets so close. Oh, but this is not good for them. He needs to... I don't think he wants to be battling here. I wish he had known the gap right now. If he can just keep within that gap right now that it is right now. Oh, but Devin's losing time. Devin's losing time. You know, you just can't know, given that Jeff doesn't give you that kind of information on if he had known what the gap is right now. Now 2.7 seconds. It's starting to go back down now. It's going to be so close. We're on lap 30 of 31, about to begin the final lap here. Mike K in third position, 2.7 seconds the gap, 2.6, about 0.4 back is Devin. I know Devin wants to get this position, but at what cost? If he can make it, and he's still within 3 seconds, then of course, good job. But now it's 2.8 seconds, and oh my goodness, he's so close. But now AZT is losing time. Oh, mistakes for Devin. This is not good, Devin. Oh, that's a big mistake on the final lap there. That might seal the deal there, because AZT is losing time. Mike Case is looking to still keep this third place. 2.9 seconds the gap. Now 3 seconds the gap, so that's big there. It's 3 seconds now, that gap now. It's so close. It's going to be neck and neck here at the end here. Lap 31 of 31, though, in this Singapore Grand Prix, and Janik is in the lead by 2.4 seconds. The big question here, though, is Mike K, AZT, and Devin. The gap is 3.1 seconds. I think it's over here, as Devin's not able to make a pass on that final DRS zone where the passes really are made. And I think ultimately, if Devin had known what the gap was and the penalty situation, he may have not battled as hard with Alpha AZT. Because as it stands right now, not even Alpha is going to be able to make it ahead. Mike K, 2.8 seconds the gap. Oh, 2.9 seconds, 2.8. It's back into, it's back in the contention range. Mike K might lose this podium still. Final few corners to go there for Janik there, though. In the Ferrari, the red team is going to be back up on top here today, coming through the final few turns, and Janik for Scuderia Ferrari is going to come around the final turn, and he is going to win the Singapore Grand Prix. The fireworks fly, Dirtamo across the line, and I think that Mike K is going to lose it here. Alpha AZT across the line, and yes, Alpha AZT onto the podium ahead of Mike K. Devin, though, just behind 0.7 of a second. Look at that, 78 hundredths of a second after that penalty. But Janik wins it. Dirtamo in second, and Alpha AZT in third. What a race. Not a lot of passing opportunities, but that penalty situation really did keep you on the edge of your seat. Unfortunately, I think Devin really, I don't think he just was aware of that gap, because I think if he was, he may not have battled as much with the Renault driver. Nonetheless, though, it's not going to be enough for Mike K to score to get into the lead of the championship, but Janik wins the Singapore Grand Prix. Dirtamo in second, and Alpha AZT picks up the final point-scoring podium. Why did I say point-scoring podium? That's probably one of the worst lines I've ever said in my commentary career. Nonetheless, that is your Singapore Grand Prix, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go over the grid order one more time, as that is it for 31 laps of regulation. It's Janik in the lead. In first position, Dirtamo in second. Third for Alpha AZT, VR Mike K in fourth. Rounding up the top five is Devin 3043. Matt Tebos in sixth. Seventh for LRB. Spaghetti Chips in eighth. Ninth for Ollie Flavel, MMA Slash. The final point scoring position here today. TFA Jesper in 11th. And it is all down the order here. Gilles finishing the race. And then everybody else. Lewis, Plebs, Glover, Tim Wentick, Cortez, Mark C, Jordy, all out of the race. And that is it. So let's get into the showroom. Let's see if we can invite some drivers here. And I'm just going to try to pull up the names here up at the top there. I have the stream paused, and we'll get everybody into the showroom. We'll interview some drivers here. But that was definitely an interesting race. A lot of interesting things with penalties. Let's get into the showroom right there. We'll bring up the UI off for the Ferrari. And let's invite some drivers into the party. Let's get Janik first. Oh, I spelled that wrong. That's why. Like, why isn't it popping up? So we'll get Janik in here. Get Dirtamo in here. And then we'll get Alpha AZ. It's underscore. Doesn't look like he's online, but nonetheless we'll wait. Oh, so he's not able to get in here, but we'll wait and see if everybody, if we get anybody into the party chat, and we can possibly interview some drivers. But definitely a interesting race right there. So it is a Ferrari win nonetheless. Janik winning the Grand Prix in the Scuderia Ferrari car. On the hard tires, actually, as we see there, on the hard tires in the showroom. And Dirtamo picking up second position in the race. And Alpha AZT, after penalties, Mike K losing down to fourth. Devin finishing in fifth. That is crucial for the championship standings. That's going to allow Devin to still keep the lead of the championship, though it will be slimmer. It looked like possibly Mike K actually might lose a position near the end there. And I don't think we're going to be getting anybody into the room here for an interview. So I am going to sign off here, ladies and gentlemen. You have been watching Premier Sims Gaming League's live coverage of the Formula 5 World Championship in the PlayStation Division. Thank you so much, everybody who joined us live. Like on the live stream, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and join the Discord for all of our information future if you want to sign up next season. Thank you, everybody who joins us every weekend. For F5, the support is amazing. It is a pleasure to commentate as always. This is Irish signing off once more, and have yourselves a wonderful night.